Good Friday to everybody. Let's jump right in. Glad you're with us. Hope you had a great Thursday night, Friday morning into this weekend. We're ready to kick things off here. Good afternoon. Michigan football, part of Rivals.com, the Maize and Blue review, and we're here to talk about the latest in Michigan sports. And today we've got lots of things to get to, including some breaking news that has come down the pipe here that we will get to momentarily. We'll get to Michigan hockey in the Frozen Four coming up short last night. There is an offensive lineman that is set to make his announcement on Instagram this afternoon. We'll tell you how that's looking for the Maize and Blue. Jadyn Davis, a week ago, Friday, pledged to Michigan. And since he has been hitting the recruiting path, sort of, cyberly, with his own team, we'll get to that coming up. We'll start with the love that Michigan is getting from the transfer portal, plus some rumors, and that is where we do begin. And with that breaking news, Michigan has added two players from the transfer portal, according to reports. The first player is Trey Jackson, who's from this area, went to Detroit Western, and then ended up going to high school elsewhere, like all prep players seemingly that are any good, end up leaving the state of Michigan to go elsewhere. And then he went to Missouri before heading to Seton Hall. But Trey Jackson has committed to Michigan. He is 6'10", 215 pounds, averaged 6.5 points last year in almost 15 minutes of play for Seton Hall. And again, he began his career at Missouri. I just watched a few minutes of tape on Trey Jackson. I wasn't that familiar with his game. He's a big lefty. You look at him, and I didn't know his height. I checked later. But just a few minutes ago, I was watching him. I would have said he looked like 6'7", 6'9", not 6'10". But he's got what looks like a pretty good stroke. I mentioned he is a southpaw, and he is looking, he's looking to shoot that three. He can put it on the floor and take it all the way to the hole. I saw him in transition from the left side using this Euro step. It looked pretty sweet. And that was from him on the left side of the floor, working towards the right, being able to use his left hand with that Euro step. He looked pretty good. But the 6.5 point numbers, I could easily see him averaging double figures. It'd be best if he was coming off the bench, but is he one of the big three that you're looking for? Probably not, but a nice addition for Juwan Howard and company, getting the lefty Trey Jackson. The news that just came down, something that had been talked about and rumored for a little bit, is this guy. That is a picture of Caleb Love out of North Carolina. Michigan adds Trey Jackson, 6'10", from Seton Hall, and they also add Caleb Love, 6'4" guard from North Carolina. And most people, I say most people, like, look, it's surprising how many people I go on the Den, like on the Maize and Blue review, and you could take players from all over the place, and people are like familiar with their games and seem like they've watched them left and right. Certainly they have the numbers there, but Caleb Love is someone that, played at North Carolina for 3 years, a former 5-star that, we've watched him play against Michigan, and I watched him play last year. He was a big part of North Carolina of winning getting to the championship game last year in what the Tar Heels were able to do. Love was a big part of that. And then this year, he was also a big part of them being the most disappointing team in North Carolina history. So he's had the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. And, that's why he's in the transfer portal now. Love he's a scorer. I mean, he's a flat out scorer. Sometimes when you hear that, you think, well, he's going to be ball dominant. He's going to need the rock a lot. He's going to get a lot of shots. I agree with that. If you ask me who's going to take the most shots for Michigan next year, I would say it's going to be Caleb Love. I think Love is going to be a high volume shooter, and he is going to be a high volume scorer. This is the guy that's going to lead Michigan in scoring, I would guess. Certainly, he's going to be taking the most shots, and nothing wrong with that. If he's the player that he mostly was 2 years ago, than the one that we saw. I don't know overall this year what happened with North Carolina. There's a lot of conjecture and rumors about what made them go belly up after bringing back essentially their entire team and adding Nance from the transfer portal from Northwestern, being a preseason number one, and then went belly up. Caleb Love, a part of that, but he was a part of the team that went to the Final Four the year before. So I really like the Love addition for Michigan, and Trey Jackson, I think, is a nice addition as well. He's not one where if it was just Jackson, I would sit out here and say, Michigan's going to the tournament. Love, to me, there's been a lot of talk about Michigan, of course, with the roster. And I just look, I've got the roster listed here. Brock Heilig in his story. He's got most of the roster up here. Joey Baker and Jalen Llewellyn, they're still not coming back for sure. You're checking to see if that's going to be able to happen or not. But when it comes down to Baker, if you're asking me if I'd rather have Caleb Love or Joey Baker, it would be an easy answer. That would be Love all day for me. So Michigan being able to add a couple players in the transfer portal, that's good. And Antoine is happy that I went and watched some tape. That's it. Wade saying Love does not know what a good shot is. Yeah, look, I mean, he's going to shoot it from anywhere. He's going to be throwing it up from everywhere. I get that part. Now, let's get you through some other things. I hear my dog in the background. We might have to cut this. This might be this is going to be a shorter version today on this Good Friday, not because I'm heading out for anything, but because my dog needs to go outside, and that's going to be an issue here. So let's get you through all of the big news while I can, and that'll get us to next Michigan hockey, which happened last night, and they went down in the Frozen Four, and Quinnipiac wins it 5-2. In this game, too many odd man rushes for the Bobcats, and too many breakaways, and a soft goal or two by Michigan's netminder. Did not play his best game. And the last one, or second to last one, the wrist shot, that was a real soft goal. That's, that adds up to how you don't win in the Frozen Four. Give up a couple soft goals, give up a lot of odd man rushes and breakaways. Michigan with a high power offense played a pretty good game. I mean, they went into the third period tied at 2, but then 3 there for the Bobcats. Why the Cats tomorrow night will be playing Minnesota for the championship. Elsewhere, coming up at 3:00 today, you have, according to reports, Andrew Sprague, 270-pound offensive lineman out of Kansas City, Missouri. He is expected to announce his college decision today on his Instagram. Plenty of forecasts, including Seth Berry and Josh Henschke from the Maize and Blue Review. Can you wait a couple minutes? Couple minutes? You look like you can wait a couple minutes. Expected to commit to Michigan, and that will add their third offensive lineman. And then things look good for Frazier, and they also look good for Anderson. All right. Join up with the Maize and Blue Review today. You can find out the latest and more in depth on all of these on the transfer portal and what's going on and who's coming and who's going. Hang on a second, Louie. We're almost ready for you. We'll get to you in a second. All right. I mentioned Jadyn Davis, and Davis is, let's see if I can get that screen back up there. Here it is. Davis is put a picture up last week of both of his wide receivers from his team, Channing Goodwin, whose dad, Jonathan Goodwin, played at Michigan, 3-star wide receiver from Providence Day, and then Ship, who's a 4-star wide receiver from Providence Day, and Davis saying twin. Now y'all both know what to do. The little smirky emoji from Providence Day to Ann Arbor. Let's do it. I don't know how you do it. Let's do it. That is a hashtag born to play for Michigan, Jadyn Davis. So he's recruiting both of his wideouts. This might be what it comes down to, Kenneth. My dog is so well trained, and he is not going to go in the house. And the unfortunate part, I could say, hey, I'll just hang on and let him outside. He doesn't do well without being monitored with the goats. The goats will go after him, and he'll attack him. So that's going to be it. We got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Here's the hot take rumor of the day, and it has to do with Hunter Dickinson. And I also got a DM right before the show started from the Michigan Jackal, who's in Arizona, who said, what about Hunter Dickinson coming back? There's been some talk of that. Now, I love hot takes. I love hot rumors. That would be an amazing one if Hunter Dickinson left and he was like, Michigan's not getting any ball players. We're not going anywhere. I'm in the transfer portal. Then Juwan goes out and gets Damari Burnett, the transfer from Alabama last week. And then today comes in with Caleb Love and Trey Jackson. And then the possibility, the scholarships aren't there, but, this means that there's going to be more attrition here with this team, which at this point right now, I think is fine, losing a couple more players. I would still put that as probably not going to happen when it comes down to Hunter, but I would love to see it. I would love to see Hunter Dickinson come back to Michigan. One part, all the people that were, bad-mouthing him on the way out, God, Redden's Hunter. And I think I would also, have to put myself in some kind of category of, taking a shot at him on the way out, for leaving Michigan, just for the, the program, what it meant for the Wolverines. But to be able to get him back, the top player ever in the transfer portal, he was gone, but now he's coming back. That would be awesome. Now, again, I don't think that's going to happen. I like the hot take. Maybe somebody's out there that is going to hit the new collective and has $1 million or 100,000, and he saw, hey, 70% goes to Hunter, 20% goes to the charity, and 10% goes to operating costs, and we can get Hunter Dickinson back just like that with a push of a button, or some cold hard cash. I don't know if it's $1 million, 700,000 going to Hunter. Maybe somebody's stepping up to the plate for Dickinson. We will see on that. Something to take a look at. And no, people are they hear my dog, and the one thing about it is he's not barking anymore, which isn't a good sign for me. But hey, if it's an emergency, it's an emergency. That's the way it goes. So that's where I'm at with all of the big news for Michigan. Hockey team last night, unfortunate, they've been to the Frozen Four. There's some talk like there was today about a bridesmaid and not being able to win a championship. It's been since 1998. What's going on with this hockey team? They've now had 3 different head coaches, and they just can't get past. They went to the championship game once, but I think it's 1-7 now in their last 8 Frozen Fours. And what's the matter? And I don't know what's the matter. If it was one coach, you could say, well, maybe there's something the one coach is doing. You could say they're all kind of cut from the same cloth of Red Berenson. I don't know, goaltending or defense. And I chalk it up to, I don't know if I chalk it up to, I'll give you my explanation. I think that it's hard to win a championship. And I know you know that. But we always are looking, and they should, and we should explore. Hey, is there something here? Is there something about the schedule? Is it recruiting? Is it the other teams? I think in hockey's case, it's hard to win, get that hot goaltender, and then being able to finish it off. And the one time that they had a bad call go against them. All these things add in. Not using the referees. There was one time the puck was going right to the 5-hole. They blew the whistle. They lost sight of the puck, and that screwed Michigan. I do think with hockey though, it's frustrating because football it's been longer than hockey, more than 25 years. And in basketball, it's even been longer than that. And, with basketball, they got to the championship game, but they haven't been able to punch through, just like the rest of the Big Ten. And I think it's overall talent in basketball. In football, I think whether it's right or wrong, and I think people do have a point, but it's the same thing with basketball. I think if we talk about why, Michigan hasn't won a championship in football or basketball, I think there's a lot of people that say, well, the other teams are cheating and they're getting the best players because they cheat and they give money. I think that is a reason. It's also an excuse that Michigan has used. And, you can say it is a reason. It is a reason more than an excuse, but you have to realize that, it is a little bit of an excuse as well. I think it's, more than a little bit of excuse, but you don't have that with hockey. That's the perplexing thing. Like with football and basketball, you can say, oh, these other damn teams are cheating. They're paying their players money. You can't compete with that. Michigan's not going to do it. I would rather have them play it down the middle than cheat. And it makes you feel good. I think you could sleep at night and you can say, these other teams are a bunch of rotten cheaters, and Michigan's not. Makes you feel good. But with hockey, you can't say that. So you don't have a bunch of cheaters out there. So it's more difficult, I think, to come up with an answer. And if you don't like my answer in that it's tough to win championships, you want somebody either to blame or you want that reason. You can't say, wow, 8 times and they've only even been in a championship game. There's got to be something with the coaches or something in the water or something on the ice out there. Those things are tough, to figure. I don't think I would like it either if somebody just told me, you know what, it's hard to win championships. Accept it. I do know this in baseball. I'll just give you a quick one. And my dog's back barking at me. Hang on, Louie. The Tigers for 9 years, they won everything. They were in the playoffs almost every year, Triple Crown for Miggy. They went to the World Series twice. Verlander was awesome. Cy Youngs. I mean, every award that you could possibly have. And then they got to the World Series twice, and they were favorites. And in 2006, they lost. The Cardinals. Bats went silent. Fielding pitchers couldn't field their own position. And then they totally there was a power outage against San Francisco in the World Series. And those were all, and it's been in 2013 in the championship series against 2012 against the Red Sox where Big Papi beat them. The Tigers had like one of the greatest teams on paper, certainly greatest pitching staffs they could ever want. But my point is that they had everything and were there knocking on the door but it was so entertaining and it had so many great moments, but they're missing that championship, and now they're in the basement. You look back and you say, wow, man, they just weren't able to get canonized there. The Red Wings for the longest time, 40 some odd years. And then finally they cashed in 97. Then they came back in 98, 2002, 2008, what a run that they were on. And, the Pistons had 2 eras of about 6 years in there with the going to work Pistons and the bad boy Pistons where, they were able to get to the mountaintop and they were able to get the championships. And, you appreciate that. And, and then you have the Lions who are over here, but they're in the mix this year. So championships, hard to come by. Still, I think when you take a step back and you look at the hockey team, you say it's accomplishment, being able to get to the Frozen Four, win the Big Ten tournament, and you just keep knocking on that door. And, you'll get in there. And then when it happens, we will all appreciate it. I appreciate you. I got to run. My dog, I got to go see what's going on with him. Hey, animals, what am I going to do? Everybody.